Hello Empower Tribe, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you back here. And today we are going to the Book of Awakening again, and we're going through another passage. Today's passage titled Our Ability to Try. If you try to teach before you learn or leave before you stay, you will lose your ability to try. There are so many ways we can divorce ourselves from our own experience. I can remember as a young man fearing the pain of being hurt by love. I became endlessly involved in advising others in their struggles with love. I can remember when fearing the sadness and pain of conflict with dear ones, leaving notes rather than facing them in person, trying to leap over the need to go through the real stuff face to face. I can remember when facing the next horrific chemo treatment, trying to anticipate and prepare endlessly for every possible instant of pain and fear, and only to discover that no amount of preparation can keep me from my experience. Each of these separations, teachings before learning, leaving before staying, anticipating rather than entering, left me drained of my deepest resource, the energy of my life force. Removing myself even from pain only left me pale and unable to continue. When needle or hand or rain or sun hits the skin, the only thing to do is meet its exact touch from the inside. For this moment of inner meeting, outer releases an electricity of spirit that gives us with a tenderness for being awake. So I would say this really spoke to me. I think it's really true when our main goal in life is really to escape pain. We don't want to feel pain. We try our very best to stay away from it, to not experience it. But I mean, to imagine life without pain is really to lie to ourselves, because that happens. And it's really hard for us to empathize and help somebody else when we haven't gone through it ourselves. I'm personally a coach, as you know. If I have not gone through trauma, abuse, depression, anxiety, it's very hard for me to help others experience through that, because I think it takes a level of empathy, it takes a level of non-judgment, and to be able to help others, and for also others to receive help, because they see that you've been through that same pain, and they see that you are truly able to help because you have been through it yourself. I don't think that pain is avoidable, and if we live our life just trying to block ourselves from truly experiencing pain, it's going to be very hard for us to grow as a person. And I think sometimes it takes that awareness of ourselves to be able to, just have a little bit insight of ourselves to understand what are some of what is preventing us from wanting to experience that pain. I want to share a story about my boys. So very everyday stuff. So my son came home from school very hungry, decided to make what was those things called bagel bites, and my youngest throw a bag of bagel bites into the air fryer, and then took all of them out and put it on the plate. And then my oldest son is came home from school an hour later and saw that my other son had taken all the bagel bites out of the air fryer, and immediately yelled at his brother and say, so Peyton, you are so greedy, you just had all the bagel bites, you don't even want to share. That was his first mindset, my oldest, is that his brother was selfish and that he wanted the whole bagel bites to himself. And so immediately I stepped in and I said, so why does your thought process have to be that your brother is selfish, that he took all the bigger bites for himself? Could it be that he was just trying to take all the bigger bites, put it in a plate so that we can all share? Because that was really what Peyton, my youngest, intention was. I'm using this as a story because how many times do we look at things with our lens? You know, like my oldest, his lens is always feeling like he's being shortchanged all the time. You know, Peyton, you're short, and he always said, he always feel like he is not getting enough, or he is not getting his fair share, like things is not fair for him. That is the lens in which he sees the world. And so, you know, when something isn't right by his book, he felt his shortchange, and you did something to him versus thinking about it a different way. And so I'm trying to help him see that maybe you are looking at this always as a victim versus looking at this whole situation with a positive intent. I think our ability to try is really in our ability to be able to see ourselves in the lens that we see, you know, we see this world, because a lot of things can be prevented if we don't have an assumption about things, about circumstance, about people. If we just look at things as it is and not read into what we think the intention is from the other person. You know, coming back to my son's story, is that if he looked at it, oh, the bagel bites is not in the air fryer anymore. Where is it? Oh, it's at the table on the plate. So I'm just gonna go get a bagel bite from the plate and eat it. End of story. That's it. End of story. You know, there wouldn't be an argument of who's unfair and who's selfish. It would just be a matter of fact. Oh, where's the bigger bites? Bigger bites on the table, on the plate. Just going to eat it. And I think that life is how you interpret it. And none of us is immune. Obviously, even children, struggle with having a open mind and looking at things with positive intent. And so adults, you know, we do have the same issue. And could we for once just look at things as things themselves versus give the thing a story and a life of its own that is not even true? I think that's something that is worth thinking about, considering. Are we able to just be in the moment, live in the moment, not read into the moment, not prepare for the moment, not live for the future either? It's just taking moment by moment, everything as it is. Don't add anything to it and don't take anything from it, and just look at it as it is. And I think that it sounds like a very simple philosophy, very simple thought process, but it is very difficult and challenging for a lot of people. So I'm going to leave you with that thought. Hopefully it serves you. Hopefully it doesn't sound too confusing, and that maybe we can all just be in the moment, live simply, not overthink things, not over prepare, because none of us can escape from pain. None of us can escape from suffering. None of us can escape from life. And how we feel and our approach to things is the meaning that we give it. And the meaning comes from you, from us, from ourselves. So how you define your life is truly, it's gonna come from you. And so I'm going to leave you with that thought. Hopefully you do some self-reflections. If you have any feedback, any comments that you want to share, feel free to comment below, like, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye, ladies.